Greetings. Greg Linus, Student Ministry Pastor here at Hope Church.
And I'm Vera, Children's Ministry Director. We wanted to take a moment today and just talk to you all because we know that this is a very difficult time in all of our lives with the COVID situation.
And especially for parents, with the recent news that our schools will not be opening for the remainder of the year here in Illinois, we realize that this may present some challenges and frustrations to our parents in unique situations, and we want to take a moment to encourage you on how you can approach this time frame.
For some of you, life has slowed way down, and you feel like you're going to go crazy with nothing to do all day long, stuck in your house. But for others of us, life has sped up to double time, and we're supposed to do everything we've always done, plus teach our kids at home.
Vera and I have been talking about this some just as members of the church staff who work with families. We get a lot of feedback from families and how they're feeling, and everybody's at a unique place. And that's the first thing we want to encourage you, is that your situation is unique. While we're all going through this COVID thing, we want to acknowledge that each household is going to have unique things. Some parents are still working as essential workers. Some are in home and trapped there. Some kids match well with online learning, and some it's very difficult. And this is okay.
It's okay, but please don't compare yourself to everybody else. God has put you in your situation, and He wants to talk to you about how to parent best in that situation. And that is not what He's going to expect out of somebody else. What Greg is doing is different than what I'm doing, and we need to be okay with that, and we need to give each other grace that, hey, that's great for you, I'm glad it's working, and not expect somebody else to do exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, we see people posting all sorts of things, encouraging parents how to engage their children during this time, and all of it's well intended, but sometimes it can actually build pressure. You know, people posting these amazing projects they're doing with their kids to stimulate their brains and move them into new types of thinking, and yet you're still trying to work from home with new added distractions, and you might not have time for those projects. So we don't want you to see those sorts of things and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not parenting the way everybody else is parenting. Each house is going to be different. You're going to do it at your own pace, depending on the stage your kids are at, and all sorts of factors. There's going to be some freedom. This even comes with the way you engage in material we're releasing as a church. We've tried hard to put out material to help you engage your kids spiritually, but there's going to be uniqueness at the way you digest these online materials, right, Vera?
That's right. We're putting out the Sunday School at Home pages, and for some of you, doing them on Sunday, either right before or right after you watch the service, is working great. Keep it up. But for some of you, that's just too much to do right then. And maybe your kids are finishing their school really early in the day and are lacking things to do. It's a great time. Pull out that Sunday School at Home page, pull out your Awana book, do a few verses, do what works for your family.
This is why we've chosen to release material the way that we have. Instead of live streaming events that you have to show up for on time, a lot of these materials are available at your leisure. For example, our student ministry lessons targeting middle and high schoolers, we release on Fridays. Our small groups are on Sunday nights, and while there is something they log in there, we do want the relationships to be live and in person, but with the lesson that they're discussing, we want them to have the freedom. Anytime between Friday morning when we release it and Sunday when they have their small groups, they can watch it anytime that works for them in there. We did this so you have freedom.
And the same with the kids' material. We put out the Sunday School at Home pages on Saturday, but you can do them whenever it works for you. Awana verses can be videoed and emailed in to the Awana emails anytime you want to do it, whatever works.
You know, this is something that we want you to keep in mind, especially as you may find various parts of frustration. Some of you are introverts, and being in your house with your kids all day long isn't giving you the you space that you need. And some of you are loving the extra cuddles and family times, and it's okay to be at either space. We want to encourage you to be real about where you're at and communicate with your kids. Acknowledge where you're at. If you still need some time for you, it's okay to tell your children, hey, you know what? I need a moment. Can I shut my door and not be bothered for a little bit because mom needs some space? That's much better than like just being grumpy all day without any explanation. We would encourage communication that's unique to where you're at.
Greg, when my kids were little, I used to give myself a timeout occasionally. When I realized I was too grumpy, it was like, okay, kids, you guys are fine, but mom needs a timeout. And I would do just that.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even in this stressful of a situation. So, you know, it's okay. It's okay to take those moments.
The other thing we want to talk to you about is screen fatigue. All of a sudden, the medium by which everybody is digesting everything is on a screen. Used to be your kids may go to school, sit in a classroom all day, they weren't on a screen all day long, they'd come home, they'd turn on YouTube or TV to relax. It was the way to wind down. But now their school, their church activities, everything is on a screen. So utilizing a screen platform for entertainment, turning on YouTube and the off time actually contributes to that screen time. So we do want to encourage you to be creative within your freedoms, your situation. Some of us are in apartments, some of us have yards, some of us have all these different things. But if there's any way you can encourage your kids to take kind of their downtime and entertainment time someplace other than a screen right now, that means they won't be as screen fatigued when it comes time to do the critical things like education or spiritual development. So we do want to encourage, if you want resourcing on that, we're here. We're here for ideas. We're here to talk about. We're here just to pray for you and encourage you. We're still working. You can call Vera and I. We want to make sure you understand that we're available.
Totally available.
So we hope this is helpful. We want you to be encouraged during this time. We want you to keep the pressure off of you to be like everybody else who's setting some sort of standard of what parenting looks like during this season. Nobody was prepared for this. This is a season that we didn't expect, we couldn't have predicted, and we're all responding the best we can, and we want you to give yourself freedom and realize you have resources at your disposal, and we want to be there for you.